We are KCPS.
This field project will allow Lincoln students to participate in home sporting events, and it will include many amenities. This $3.5 million track and field project at Lincoln Prep High School will replace the existing track and field with a new 4-lane, 400-meter track and new artificial turf field for home football games and home soccer matches. The renovations make the track and field compliant for us to host official competition events. This is a first in a very long time. The track and field will be expanded toward 22nd Street to the south with the sidewalk connection to the crosswalk across 22nd Street for access to Lincoln Middle School. The field will include field and end zone graphics identifying Lincoln Tigers as our mascot. Track improvements will include triple jump, long jump, high jump, and pole vault within the field end zones and throwing events across the street on the middle school practice field. This project will include seating for approximately 1,000 spectators, a press box, field lighting, and direct access to parking. This is a very important project for our school and community for many reasons. In addition to providing our students with home sporting events, this project is important because Lincoln College Prep is a beacon of history and tradition in the Kansas City community. Having our own athletic field will further strengthen this cornerstone of our common values. This field will reflect the pride our students, staff, and community members have in this institution. It will remind us all that can be achieved with hard work, commitment, and focus on achieving your goals. And the bottom line is, our kids deserve this. In a recent interview, Charles Harris stated that he wants people to know that it is okay to give back. Charles, your contribution will inspire our future Lincoln athletes for decades, and your generosity will be remembered for generations. At this time, I would like to invite Charles Harris to say a few words.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? First and foremost, I want to say thank you to you all for being out here in this heat. Could be anywhere else, or anybody else's AC. But y'all out here with me. But no, I really don't know where to start. First and foremost, I want to say thank God just for this entire event. Without him, like I literally say, without him, none of this would be possible. I know the separation of church and state, but I can't explain. I can't put it no other way. Like it's really through him that all of this is being done. Please stay with me. I talk fast. I start getting anxious or excited about something. But please stay with me and share a part of this testimony. I remember 5 years ago, 4 to 5 years, 5 years ago, and I graduated from Lincoln, and I went straight. I didn't know how I was going to get to college, right? I didn't really know I was going to get to college. I wanted to play football, but then my backup was Marines. And so my coach told me, don't go to Marines. Just look out. Just keep your head open, keep your options open, because Mizzou is in the picture. Mizzou's in the picture. I'm like, man, Mizzou, like, I went to Lincoln. Like, I ain't played football, that long. I played for 2 years. I played at 3A level. Like, I ain't do nothing exceptional. Like, ain't nobody in Mizzou about to offer me SEC. And so I did what he said. I kept my options open. Didn't sign with the Marines. My father actually didn't let me sign with the Marines. He told me he's not going to let me sign away my life. He's going to wait till I turn 18 and I do it myself. And so he didn't let me do it at all. So, I kept my options open, kept my head clear, and stayed positive about it. And before you know it, Mizzou came in. They offered me, they was like, we got a scholarship for you, but you got to take it right now. I took it. And when I took this scholarship, it's so amazing how everyone around me was so excited. Teachers, coaches, like everyone was like, God, you going to Mizzou, it's a big deal, it's a big thing. And I remember Ms. Golston was like, we want to have like a celebration. And I'm telling her, I don't want a celebration, I don't know. She's like, Charles, people got to know, you got to inspire. And I'm like, all right, bet, we can have a little celebration. So we had a celebration, about the scholarship and everything. But there was always something in me. It was like a fear in me of stepping to another platform, right? So there was this bridge of high school 3A Lincoln football, and then all my football coaches, everyone saying, you're going to the SEC, that's like the best conference. Mizzou just got in the SEC, it's the best one. You're going to be at the top level. I'm like, I don't understand though, I'm scared. Like nobody, like seriously, I'm really scared. Like I just committed to something that I had no idea what I was committing myself into. I don't know what I'm about to walk into. And when I tell you that night when I got my scholarship, I was with my mother, who was at church. And I broke down crying, like just broke down in tears, and I'm crying, and she's crying with me, like They don't know why we crying, but we crying. We're emotional. Like, this is a big deal. It's a big deal. But I'm crying out of fear. She's crying because I'm crying. It's just like it's a lot of tears. So I say that to say that same night, I don't tell a lot of people this. I really don't. I just started doing this. That night, I made a promise to God. Right? I made a covenant with God, and I was like, if this happens, I promise to utilize it in XYZ way. Right? So you kind of fill in the blank, you kind of fill in it as you want to, but like I said, it's nothing but Him. And for all of this that's happening, people are like, how does it feel to get back to your school? How does it feel to be able to get back to schools? And like, why do you do it? And because a long time ago, there was a seed planted. There was something that I said to him that I promised if you do this and this will happen. And then as I started to ascend, I went into Mizzou and they're talking about, well, he's not nothing. Why did y'all waste y'all pick on him? Who is he? He ain't got an ESPN page. He doesn't have a rival page. Who is he? I went through Mizzou with a chip on my shoulder. And the biggest fear I had was coming back to Kansas City and being like everybody else, right? Not ascending, like having expectations and not meeting them. And so through that fear, it carried me all through Mizzou. It carried me for a while. But after a while, I solidified myself in Mizzou. Eventually, I was great in Mizzou. My sophomore year in Mizzou, I was great. So what was the next thing that's going to keep me to keep ascending? And at that point, that's when I really found God, my junior year in high school or in college. That's when I really found Him, started to understand grace, started to understand the truth. And that propelled me then. And now I'm in the league, it's like, I bought my mother a house. I've done all the things that people would say motivate. Like, what is going to keep me going now? You know what I mean? Like, what is now? I'm at the top. I'm really at the top. It's love. Like, I love what I do. I love giving back. I love being there for kids. I love inspiring. Like, I love how they look at me, but they don't understand that I'm just like you. I was just where you was, but the only thing I did differently was that I started making heavenly treasures, right? I started putting treasures in heaven. I started doing deeds out of love and not because I want something in return. You know what I mean? Like, you always reap what you sow. You always reap better than what you sow. You always reap more than what you sow. So that's really what all of this is. Like, it's just harvested like fruits that's been planted way back then that people don't understand, people don't know. But as He ascends me and as I grow in his walk or in His plan, y'all will start to understand Him through me. Hopefully. And sports is nothing but another way to glorify God. When you think about the Olympics, right? The Olympics is the only thing that brings all the nations together, right? For a common reason, that's sports. And so people say, why is sports so important to schools and communities? Well, it's the one thing that can bring an entire neighborhood together, right? So wherever the school is, I was just telling them back there, when the school is good, doing good, is positive, usually the neighborhood is doing good and it's positive. So Lincoln is a staple. It's a staple. And we're going to keep it that way. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Kim Riley to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wait a minute now. No, I'm not Charles. Give me something. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm feeling the love now. I'm Kim Riley, and it is quite an honor to represent Greater Kansas City LIST. We are firmly committed to reinvesting in communities so that communities can be great and communities can churn out wonderful young men like Charles and all of Lincoln alum. I am also very honored because I am an alum of Lincoln. Lincoln class of '88. So this is quite a special occasion. But we have a partnership, LIST has a partnership with the Kansas City Chiefs where we are working together to partner to donate $250,000 to transform this field into the state-of-the-art world-class field to complement this world-class institution. So we are just excited, honored that we're here, and just committed to planting seeds so that Lincoln can continue its tradition of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Riley. Dr. Bedell, we'd like to invite you to say a few words.
All right, thank you. And I want to start off by thanking you, Charles, the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, Miami Dolphins, LIST for all that you have done to help support this school district. And I want you all to know that while we're here celebrating Lincoln, we've gotten a lot of support across the school district from the NFL and from our community partners. And so we're simply thankful because this will benefit all of our kids as a whole. It will also allow for us to really create this sense of community and purpose as we really try to evolve as a school district. So I think that that's extremely important. I want you all to know that our theme for this upcoming school year is all in. And all in, it means a lot of things. I'm going to dive into that during our KCPS Education Foundation event a little bit later today. But right now, I just want to highlight that part of what all in means is creating schools that help our students achieve their full potential. That includes developing their minds and their bodies. And as a former student athlete, I don't take any of this lightly in terms of what we're trying to do to develop our kids socially and emotionally. And so I tell people that extracurriculars are second to academics. Academics is the primary reason why we do the work that we do, but we know that social organizations and athletics and those types of things helps us to create a well-rounded student. And I want our students to know that we're serious about that. And I think the evidence is clearly articulated when you begin to look around the city and look at what we're doing across all of our schools. I personally know how important it is to have access to great athletic facilities and programs. And it's something about knowing that you get to go play on what I would say is Rolls-Royce facilities. When you get first-class treatment and opportunities to compete at a high level. When I started last year, I attended my first athletic event, and it was a middle school game. And I saw our kids, and they were in different uniforms. And my first big investment outside of the early childhood expansion of offering 1,100 early childhood seats at no cost to our community was to make an investment in purchasing brand new uniforms for all of our kids in every single sport across the district. And I can tell you what that has done for us is it has worked wonders. It has increased their confidence, their pride, and that's the big part of the battle. Then you get out there and you compete. And I can tell you we've had a tremendous amount of success this school year, in particular at Lincoln, where we've had teams make it to the state level competition. You know, we increased from 9 students that competed in states in track and field to 27 this year. And that's huge. That's huge. And here's the crazy part about it. Most of these kids are coming back next year. So we are going to absolutely be a force to be reckoned with in the state of Missouri. This project is the latest in a series to ensure that our high school student athletes have the kind of facilities they need and deserve. We put a $2 million in for a new field and track at Northeast High School, $4 million for a new athletic complex at East High School, which is approaching its completion, $1.2 million for a new field and track at Central Academy of Excellence, and in the work that we did with the IL complex at Southwest High School. I want you all to know that we are going to continue to go all in for our students. We appreciate all of our families and partners who are helping us make this vision a reality, but I also want our students to know we have made massive investments into our academic program. And you're going to see that the first day you walk into school this year, that it is going to be something different around our expectations, because we believe that every kid should have a can-do mentality in this school district, and it's our jobs as adults to make sure that we create the conditions that are right so that these kids can achieve any goal they want. Before I step down, we have a lot of faculty and staff members out here from across the district. Could you just please stand, and so I can just acknowledge you, all of our faculty and staff members, and our coaches. Thank you all. Thank you.
Additional thanks on behalf of our Lincoln School community. We would like to again thank Charles Harris, the Greater Kansas City List, the Chiefs and NFL for your remarkable support. We would also like to thank the Kansas City Public School Board and Superintendent Dr. Bedell for your continued support, and Dr. Sanders and our athletic program. Additional thanks to Wellner Architects, Margaret is here representing them today, and to McGowan Gordon Construction Management for this project. At this time, speakers, please grab shovels and we will begin our groundbreaking.
First, come in.
We're going to count. We're going to count.
First, hold the shovels for a minute while we take some pictures,
So
okay?
smile, everybody.
Smile, yep. Okay, hold tight. Hang on.
I got it on my phone.
Did you?
Yep. All right. Everybody ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. And throw.
All right.
Very far. Touch it. All right.
All right, everybody. All right, time for us to get it done, man.
Thank you, everybody.